Hi guys, if you're a subcontractor and you have CIS deducted before you're paid on most of your jobs, you could be due a tax refund. Wouldn't that be nice? And what are you waiting for? My name's Sarah Woodhead and I'm a chartered accountant, and I'm going to show you a simple example of how this could be the case. Now, this example applies to self-employed people, not companies, and is based on the UK tax system for 2011-12. This little chap over here, he's Mr. Woody. He's an electrician. And let's say during 2011-12, he worked 200 days at a day rate of 150 quid under CIS. So that's 200 days times 150 quid is £30,000. That's this top line here. Also did some extra work for himself outside the scope of CIS, which is £8,000. Total income this year, £38,000. Okay, so far. Let's just have a recap on the CIS element of his income. So he invoiced £30,000 worth of sales to contractors, and he had 20% CIS stopped before he was paid. So £30,000 times 20% is £6,000. He actually took home £24,000. Now, his contractors have paid that £6,000 over to HMRC on his behalf. Now, what we need to work out is how much tax should he actually pay for 2011-12, and is that £6,000 too much or too little? Okay, so remember, as a self-employed person, you're taxed on your profits, not your turnover. So let's have a look at the expenses. They're over here. Some of these you'll recognise, probably apply to you too. So purchases, small tools like pliers and materials for jobs like cable or light fittings. Motor expense includes the business use of Mr. Woody's van for repairs, the MOT, servicing and fuel. And we stripped out the personal use element. You need to talk to your accountant about what you can claim if there's personal use on your vehicle. Mobile phone, again, he needs this for his business, and we've disallowed a percentage of the total cost to accommodate personal use. Subscriptions, say to regulatory bodies or training and updates. Workwear, where it's to protect you, such as your steel toe caps or the special thick trousers with knee pads and the hooks and everything. You can claim these, but not normal t-shirts or trousers unless maybe they've got your logo on. Sundry items and printing, maybe you've had some business cards done or leaflets, for example. Depending on your business, the amount of these expenses will vary, and also there are other expenses that you could claim as well, such as capital allowances, which we will revisit later. But let's just work through this simple example now. So Mr. Woody's draft profit after expenses is £26,000. Now, he has to pay income tax and Class 4 national insurance based on this profit. For each of those taxes, you get a free pay amount, or most people do. And once you've deducted this free pay, that you don't have to pay any tax on that small element, whatever's left you have to pay your tax on. So income tax is 20%. For this example, for Mr. Woody's level of profit, it's £3,705. Same thing for Class 4 national insurance after his free pay element based on his level of profit. Class 4 national insurance at 9% is £1,689.75. So add those together. Total tax payable for Mr. Woody for 2011-12 is £5,394.75. But let's remember from earlier, he's already paid £6,000 via his contractors through CIS. So this year he's overpaid. HMRC owes Mr. Woody a refund of £605.25. Happy Mr. Woody. When your self-assessment tax return is submitted, HMRC will process any refund due to you. Enter your bank details in the repayment section of the return to speed up your receipt. Otherwise, you've got to wait for a cheque to be sent in the post, then you've got to get to the bank, then you've got to wait for the funds to clear. Sometimes HMRC do not action a repayment straight away, so ring them to check that it's pending. If, however, you need to make a payment for underpaid tax, you'll need to do so by the 31st of January 2013, as well as having submitted your return online to avoid a £100 fine. There are many ways to pay, which now includes via your credit card, but watch out for that transaction fee of 1.4%. Now, it's not possible to cover everything here. This is just a snapshot with a simplified example to show you how a refund could apply to you. We haven't covered how to claim, for example, the purchase price of your van or equipment or large tools, all of which reduce your taxable profit and decrease your tax due. So, for example, you may work from home, partly from home. Get advice on what you could claim as a deduction. Also, have you heard of IR35? This is where HMRC look at subcontractors and review actual working habits to see if they should actually be treated as an employee. You're most at risk if you work for one person, and it's a topic you should discuss with your accountant so you understand if this risk applies to you. We spoke about Class 4 national insurance in the last example, but remember there's also Class 2 national insurance payable by self-employed persons. Normally set up via direct debit, and for 2011-12 is payable at £2.50 per week. You may also want to discuss with an advisor whether you should stay self-employed or set up your own company. The two entities are taxed differently and there's different pros and cons, and with the right advice you can decide which one's best for you. Don't forget this is a hypothetical example and just considers Mr. Woody's self-employed income. There are other pages and basic information to complete on your self-assessment tax return, e.g. bank interest received, dividends received, pension contributions made, etc., which will all have a bearing on the tax due and need to be disclosed. The good news is, we're here if you need a hand. Woody's is a specialist accountant to the trade, so you're in safe hands. We can help you get your tax return filed now, and you can start paying for your fees by monthly standing order to help spread your costs. Good tax advice pays for itself. Visit our website at www.woodysaccounts.co.uk for more information. Remember, it's just a simple example. You can't use it for your own tax purposes or rely on it for the basis of a claim. You should seek professional advice or ring HMRC if you have any queries on your personal tax return. Thanks for listening.